Hey everybody, welcome back to another Jackson jet setting cruise video. So today we're checking out Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady. We just got off the ship. It was our first time sailing with them, and brand new ship, really amazing stuff that you've never seen on board a cruise ship before. So let's do a full tour of this massive vessel, starting with our Sea Terrace cabin. So I used my band, which everyone wears on the ship, to get on and off the ship, get into your rooms, charge items to your shipboard account. And here is the balcony cabin. So about 220 square feet, I believe. Nice little curtains here, do not disturb sign there behind. Not a gigantic bathroom by any means, but can obviously fit one person pretty nicely. Nice rainfall shower, as well as some multi-use shampoos and conditioners and body wash in there. Never really expecting much from bathrooms on cruise ships, but has everything you need. Then a nice king bed that can convert into two queens, or like a couch and a twin scenario. So that's one feature that they were touting a lot on board. Wasn't super into that, so we just kept it as a bed the entire time. But here's your cabin. All of this is mood lit. You can use the tablet there to adjust the mood lighting to different modes if you're watching a movie, or if you're in party mode. Lots of different options there. And then here's the terrace with a nice little red hammock. So nice space to be able to hang out in. So the Scarlet Lady can hold up to 2,770 passengers, though on our voyage there was less than 500, so that was pretty great. It was basically our own ship. But Virgin definitely has focused on fitness, definitely sets it apart from other cruise ships, and so there are lots of spaces on this adults-only vessel that you can get away and really keep to your gym routine or whatever you did on land. So this dedicated running track, which is at the very top of the ship, is really great for runners or walkers because you don't have deck chairs in the middle of your running path. You don't have people carrying margaritas getting in your way as you try and jog. So really a great feature here if you're. And then located maybe a quarter deck above the runway is the Perch, and that's where all the guided meditations as well as yoga classes are held on board, or just a nice place to sun a bit while at sea or in port. So some nice privacy here, a good place to get away from any crowds that might be on board, but has a great view of the entire sea that you're sailing on, as well as some of the other decks, like that basketball court there down on deck 16. The Scarlet Lady has only been sailing since October 2021. This video was shot in January 2021. It was set to premiere in 2020, but of course we know what happened that year, and so the ship just sat idle. But now it's sailing with limited capacity, and it's just really, really great. Its sister ship will start sailing through Europe in 2022, but right now the Scarlet Lady is sailing on 4 and 5 night voyages through the Caribbean and the Bahamas. We were on the 4-night voyage here, so we stopped in Bimini, which is where I'm shooting this video right now, and Nassau, Bahamas. So I believe it was 6 laps around this track and was a full mile, so easy to track your running if you were trying to keep a certain distance in mind for your runway. But one nice thing I liked is how it's a little cantilevered over the bottom of the deck there, so you definitely get some great views as you run here. So right now we'll head down to deck 16, or we'll check out more of the public spaces on board the Scarlet Lady. So deck 16 is definitely dedicated to hanging out outside, either if you're exercising or just reading a book or enjoying the bright sun of the Caribbean. Lots of different types of chairs. You see those nets over there. Those are great for reading books. You have some foosball, so you can definitely hang out with friends and play that. This is actually called the Athletic Club Bar. So this is located at the aft of the ship. There are twin hot tubs on either side of the vessel. Lots of cool seating and sun loungers, plushy sort of daybed scenarios that you can find in a lot of places on the ship, which is great, and open, so you don't have to book those in advance. But then they have this really cool thing called the net, which is obviously a net made for sun lounging, but it is cantilevered over several decks below. So if you're afraid of heights, that might not be the coolest thing for you, but really one of the cool features of the ship. And then here's the Athletic Club bar, which just features normal cocktails as well as some smoothies and draft beer. So each bar on board has sort of its own menu, which I felt was pretty cool. So this one being on this deck where a lot of exercise things are, there were some smoothie options from that bar. And then there's chess on this side as well as Twister on the ground. As you make your way towards the basketball court, you see a lot more seating options here, so pretty cool. There's that Twister game, and then the basketball court over there to the left. The basketball court is also where they hold dodgeball, so they have dodgeball at least one time during the cruise. That was a lot of fun to look at. The basketball court is fully enclosed, so no balls go flying over the ship. And then what we're walking through right now are areas of the ship I didn't really see in use at all on our voyage, which are the cabanas. These are for rent. They're super private and overlook the ocean. I don't know how useful these are, though, in terms of getting some sun. It seemed like they were very closed in for what they were, but they're all individually numbered, and I assume when the ship is fully booked, these will go pretty fast. So this area definitely feels a little closed in. It wasn't really my favorite part of the ship, but we are making our way to what's called the Sun Club. So above us right now is that running track that we saw a little earlier. But as you can see, lots of little areas to exercise if you needed to. But this is the Sun Club, and then over to the left is the Sun Club bar. So lots of art here to look at as well. Didn't really get an explanation of what that was, but it's there for you if you want to appreciate it. And then some numbered seats there for reading a book, looking out over the ocean. I actually spent some time there. But the Sun Club bar is over there to the left, and all this overlooks the pool areas of the ship, which we'll check out next. But we're walking forward now. So obviously lots of deck chairs to sun and a big, sun tanning deck. But as we make our way to the front of the ship, you'll see the smoking area to the right, and then the Sun Club Cafe to the left, which serves different types of poke bowls. So lots of healthy options. They had tuna, they had salmon, and then I believe a vegetarian option, as well as some water. This Save Water, Drink Champagne neon sign is where the DJ at night during big parties or during the day would post up and spin some tunes, so that's really fun. And a nice little photo op when he's not there. And here's the Sun Club Cafe that I mentioned. And then further on is actually a dedicated space called Richard's Rooftop that's only for people in Megastar cabins, so those are the suites. So that's an area dedicated just for them, and they have their own bar with complimentary champagne for I think an hour and a half or so each night. So now we're making our way towards the back of the vessel, the aft section. And on this side of the ship is actually the Athletic Club. So they actually have an outdoor exercise space dedicated for people. They have a boxing ring, they have different exercise equipments like kettlebells, etc. that you can use outside and enjoy the outdoors while getting your workout on. And then they have an indoor space called Training Camp, which had TRX bands, it had some free weights, that sort of thing inside. So definitely a nice gym option, one of several on board. So Deck 15 is going to feature a lot more public spaces. There are pools, there are some gym facilities, as well as the Galley, which is not a buffet. The Virgin Voyages makes it very clear that there isn't a buffet, but it's essentially a buffet space with lots of different options for people that you can order from one of the waiters, and they'll bring you your food relatively quickly. So right now they're operating like that. Don't know how that will change as the ship gets more passengers. I assume that it will be self-serve, but we'll have to see. So let's check out deck 15. So we're heading down to deck 15 from 16 in the center of the ship. This is where the B complex is, which is 2 separate gyms on either side of the ship. On the port side, it's the B complex burn and bike gym, and then the starboard side, the B complex build and balance gym. And both of those have cardio and different items that are slightly different. So this is the burn and bike gym with its bike studio, so you do cycling classes in here, with lots of cardio equipment, treadmills, ellipticals, etc. And a nice huge spin classroom for all those activities, and all of the activities are included with your voyage. So Virgin definitely includes a lot of things like gratuities, and those all in the price of what you pay to get on board, so that's really helpful. But as you can see, lots and lots of equipment, so I imagine that this would be quite busy when the ship is fully occupied. So from here we're going to head towards the aft of the ship through the galley. So there are lots of different food options in the galley, and we'll detail each one of those right now. So as we leave the B complex and head into the galley, you'll see on the right the Grounds Club 2. So there's a Grounds Club on a lower deck that we'll show you in a second, and so this one is the smaller but serves specialty coffees. All the specialty coffees on board are an extra charge. Espressos start at $3, doubles at $5, and then the specialty, lattes, etc., go from about $4 to $6. There's also a to-go area right here, so they have some sandwiches and some nice salads, as well as some dessert options if you're just into the grab and go right there. So that's nice. Some fruit options as well. Here's a map of the area. So lots of options here. So they have their drink areas that are called Tap That. So it's Tap That Cold and Tap That Hot. So one cool thing about Virgin as well is that all non-alcoholic beverages besides specialty coffees and smoothies and fresh squeezed juices are included. So they have big soda stations everywhere that you can access for free. So if you're into that and that's important to you, that could be a big cost savings once you're on board. And so making our way to this is the hot off the press. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is the daily mix. So that has breakfast and lunch and dinner, bagels, spreads, cold cereals and hot cereals during the morning, and then soups and Caesar salads in the lunch hour and evening hours. This is the sweet side. So this is obviously desserts, lots of nice options there. As we keep making our way down here, there's lots of seating areas for people. And then this is actually considered separate from the galley, but this is Gun-Bae, and we will let you know exactly what that experience is like right now. So while a lot of other ships have, the teppanyaki style specialty restaurants on board that you have to pay extra for, every specialty restaurant on board the Scarlet Lady is included, and their style is actually this Korean barbecue place called Gun-Bae, and it's cheers in Korean, and so it's built towards sort of drinking games and Korean food. I felt like it was very authentic. I've had Korean barbecue in the past, and it was pretty good. Lots of appetizers, as well as your waiter who actually makes everything in front of you on the grill. So really a cool option for people that are looking for an experience that maybe you wouldn't do on land, or if you don't have good Korean food in your town. I did like that the experience started with some free soju, and the waiter actually encouraged us to play these drinking games, and it was really fun. You're seated at a table with several people. We only had one person with us on our voyage, but definitely a lot of fun if you are into a big social experience. Great way to meet people as well. So really a lot of fun here. Felt like the food was really good. Also, don't sleep on the soft serve for dessert. It's absolutely incredible. So moving on from that, we're going to check out some more of the options here in the galley. So as we turn past the sweet side, we'll find some more options. So they had a well-bread station that had a lot of flatbreads as well as baked goods when they were open. I was visiting sort of between meal hours, so only certain things are open at certain times, so definitely pay attention to that. The burger bar obviously serves burgers. They don't sell anything. But they do have Impossible Burgers if you're trying to be a little bit healthier, which I thought was pretty cool. And then this is Diner and Dash. They actually serve all-day breakfast. So they have English breakfast, I don't think 24/7, but pretty much all the time. So definitely an option there. And then as we make our way back to the aft of the boat, we have It's Taco. So they had some, different taco options. I wasn't really too excited about those. Probably my least favorite item I had on board. But as you can see, this place is pretty massive. They have all the soda stations here for you to choose. So pretty nice there. And this is the Noodle Around, which serves ramen options. I felt like the ramen was pretty good for a cruise ship. So that's an option for people as well. And then coming up is Hot Off the Press, which has avocado toast and smoked salmon in the mornings, and then avocado toast and shrimp salads and turkey and Swiss paninis, that sort of thing for lunch. And then there's a nice outdoor seating area that is wonderful to sit at and enjoy the ocean beyond when you're having some lunch or dinner. I will note on our cruise, masks were required indoors. They just installed that at the first of the year due to the Omicron variant, so keep that in mind if you're cruising nowadays. Wasn't really too bothered by it, and it kept everyone safe, so that was nice. So we're going to make our way towards the forward part of the galley and see some more options. So this little kiosk here is Pop. So that's a popsicle stand. Again, all this is included. A lot of these things would probably be an extra charge on board different cruise lines, so really a lot of fun. And then here's the bento baby area, so lots of bento boxes. They actually have like a breakfast bento box with Greek yogurt and then sushi in the afternoons. And then here's the hot tea and coffee station. And we still have more to look at, more seating here, and then we're back on the other side of the galley where there's another to-go area, and we're going to make our way out to the other side of B-side, which is Build and Balance. This had more weightlifting machines as well as some free weights, and then in here was where the bungee class would be, as well as stretching, kind of a multifunctional space, but overall a really nice area. And if you're into exercise, this ship is definitely one of the best I've ever seen. And so now finally we're going to reach some of the pool areas on board the Scarlet Lady. So to the left here is the well-being pool, as well as the gym and tonic bar. So love the theming here. There's still some exercise areas outdoors on this deck, which is pretty funny. Some people were using it, so lots of options there. And then here's that build and balance area with windows out to the pool. So lots of windows. It doesn't feel like you're shut in like some gyms on some cruise ships. And then as we make our way to the larger pool area, it's called the Aquatic Club. So this pool, I think this is one area that they could have maybe improved on the ship. Obviously plenty of room on our voyage because we were, less than 20% full, but this pool will get very, very busy once this ship goes to full capacity. So one thing they may have to adjust or take a look at on future voyages, I think. And as we make our way forward, we're going to come across on the right the tune-up. That's the Mani Pedi and Medi Spa. So that has ocean views and lots of treatments for you if you're into that sort of thing. So that's separate from the spa area that we will go into detail on in a second. And then on the opposite side of the ship is what's called the scene, and so that's a bookable space for groups, etc. If you need some functional space for meetings. And so the rest of this deck is actually Rockstar Suites and all the big suites. And so the next public space is actually all the way down on deck 7, so that's where we're going to head to now. So deck 7, we're slightly forward, and this is the Groupie. These are bookable karaoke rooms that are right now free of charge. I thought they were really, really high quality. We checked it out for one song or so. Not big karaoke people, but if you have a big group on board, this could be a lot of fun, especially after some cocktails or drinks. The red room is where all of the theater shows at night take place. This is the entrance at the top level. There's another entrance on the lower deck. Multifunctional theater, lots of cool entertainment in there, a little bit different, actually very different than what you're normally used to on a cruise ship. This was the first night's untitled party show dance thing, and so the stage will actually move around and you have to kind of move as an audience. It's all really funny. I thought it was really well done. So definitely check that out if you're on board. And so we're just showing you a little bit more of the space around the karaoke rooms. There's some outdoor spaces that you can just walk like a traditional cruise ship, nothing really that crazy there. And then now we're making our way to the champagne bar. The champagne bar is called Sip, and here is a good time for me to mention that you can actually shake your Virgin Voyages app at any time on board the ship, and you can shake for champagne and they'll bring you a bottle of Moet anywhere on the ship. I think it was $95, so definitely a cool thing there. They also have a cocktail menu. Again, it's different than other cocktail menus at any of the other bars on the ship, so definitely encouraging you to go explore a ton of the different bars on board. This is also where they hold the tea. They had high tea on one of the sea days on our voyage, so that's an extra charge, but it seemed like a traditional English tea there, which is pretty cool. So now we're making our way to the Roundabout. This is the main focal point of the ship, sort of like a traditional atrium. This is Get Lost right there. That's where you can book shore things, aka shore excursions. And this is Voyage Vinyl. This is the record store on board. So all the Megastar suites have record players on board, so you can definitely check that out. And there was a DJ spin in there. He'll spin indoors a lot. Main focal point, lots of activities that happen around here, especially on Scarlet Night, which is one night each voyage. It's a kind of pandemonium across the ship, really a lot of fun. And making our way through this space, we'll hit Grounds Club. So this is the main coffee station on board for all your specialty coffees. And walking through this space, you'll make your way to the Social Club, which is the diner on board. It has weird hours, but they have hot dogs and pretzels and that sort of thing. But that also connects in to one of my favorite spots on the ship, which was the arcade and the loose cannon. So there's lots of space here for you to play games. There's air hockey, there's foosball, and then there's the loose cannon, which is where trivia is played. They have a specialty menu, lots of tiki drinks, really a lot of cool stuff in there. And then that's connected to the arcade. The arcade is all free. They have retro games, they have Golden Tee, they have Pac-Man. Lots and lots of fun, and a great place to kill some time if you're looking for something to do, or if you just wanted to grab a drink at the Loose Cannon and play some games. They're available to you there. Moving back to the aft of the ship, there's the Dockhouse, which was a live music space, as well as bar. It kind of had a Mykonos feel, and that led to the dock, which is an outdoor space with lots of big sunbeds that you could order some food during the day, some drinks, and just enjoy. That's the space that actually the net looks down upon. And then finally, the entrance to the wake, which I think is one of the best restaurants on board, is located at this section. You have a staircase that leads you down to the lower deck where the actual dining happens. You can order steaks and seafood. There's some extra charge items on there if you wanted to plus up your dinner, but I felt like all the free items were more than adequate. But you can see kind of a 1950s, 1960s Art Deco feel, very, very high-end feeling, and really impressive space. moving back towards the center of the ship is the pizza place. This is open at random times during the day, and then late night, it's their custom pizza spot. It's got Virgin Voyages' own Winwood beer, which is a local Miami brewery. I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, you can customize your pizzas here and eat them out on the deck. I felt like the pizza was pretty good quality, never as good as on land, just due to constraints, a sea, but really a great spot. Then moving out of the pizza place appropriately is the Lick Me Till ice cream stand. So lots of specialty flavors here, key lime pie, vanilla, you know, all the classics, but then some cool stuff there, as well as some flavored cones. So definitely high end and all included as well. And so we're back out the Roundabout here, and we're walking towards the Draft House, which has a lot of different beers and beers you can't find at other places on the ship. So that's a pretty cool spot for people that enjoy a nice beer. I'm going to show you one more outdoor space that you can hang out at over here at Deck 7 before we move down to Deck 6, which has even more public space. So obviously Deck 7 chock full of fun stuff to do, a lot of eateries and more of the same down on Deck 6. So Deck 6 has High Street, which is all of the shops on board. It also hosts the hair and shave salon, as well as Squid Ink, which is the tattoo parlor on board. This is a unique first for cruising. Lots of people actually getting tattoos here. They had 2 tattoo artists on board. I heard it was pretty booked, even with our ship not having a full amount of people. So definitely cool there. Liquor store, makeup, and then lots of high-end shops that I felt like were really cool designed and very unique feeling, even though they offer a lot of the similar products that you might find on other ships. I felt like there was a lot of space dedicated to this, and this was pretty cool. Also, if you keep following this side of High Street, you'll run into one of the restaurants that's called Extra Virgin, and that's the Italian restaurant on board. We had a chance to try it out just for an appetizer. We love Italian food, but with only 4 nights on our voyage, we couldn't try every single restaurant for dinner, so we did get a chance to take a look inside. So now moving out of there, we're moving to the other side of the ship where there are some more shops and then the entrance to Test Kitchen. Test Kitchen's another unique restaurant on board Scarlet Lady. It's more of a Michelin star plated small bites experience. You know, there's a chef-driven sort of feel. It's also very well themed. It's themed like a food laboratory, and so everyone's wearing lab coats, and they have wine, beer, as well as cocktail and non-alcoholic cocktail pairings with your food. So if you want an experience like that, you can check it out on board. Heading out of High Street again leads you to On the Rocks, which is another bar. This is also where a lot of live music, including a great jazz band, plays late night. So a big focal point on the ship after hours. So really a fun time, and definitely check that out if you're here. So now we'll make our way past some more of the shops that we showed you earlier to the casino, which is a large focal point on the ship as well. What's a cruise ship without a casino? They have a casino bar there as well as a smoking room. It's the only spot on doors that you can actually smoke inside. Everything else is smoke-free, including the casino floor itself, which is really nice if you're not a smoker. So this is also where you'll enter the Manor, which is a really cool spot on board. It's the nightclub. There's some shows there as well during the day. The entrance is one of the most unique places on any ship I've ever seen, so we'll show you that right now. So down on deck 5, there aren't a ton of public spaces on this deck, but one notable area are the 2 restaurants, Razzle, Dazzle, which is vegetarian focused. There are some meat options, including a delicious chicken sandwich at lunch. It's open breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then on the other side of the ship is Pink Agave, which is the Mexican, high-end Mexican restaurant with an amazing entrance into it. But lots of tequila and mezcal on board, the biggest tequila mezcal menu at sea. And we had a great meal here and opted for some of the high-end seafood options that they had, including lobster. Finally, we're going to round out this tour with the spa, which was open on the first day for tours. I didn't actually have a chance to do a treatment here, but there's lots of options, of course, lots that are not included in your cruise fare. Big hot tub in the middle. All this is co-ed, which I like. You know, if you're traveling with your spouse or someone else and you need some co-ed space, that's pretty helpful. This is actually a mud room, so they'll actually give you a bucket of mud to spread some mud on your body and hang out in a fancy steam room there. But yeah, follow along the rest of this video with all the other spaces on the spa. But thanks again for watching. We're going to do more and more of these videos as we get to do more and more ships. And let me know in the comments with any questions you might have.